Well, hello, my beautiful Scorpio. Welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with a little bonus reading all about you. I've already cleansed your space and I've meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about pretending to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings. I do not take your money, e-gifts, donations. I'm not on Facebook, WhatsApp, PayPal, Telegram, or Patreon. I will never ask you for your credit card details. I'll never ask for personal details. And I'll also never give you a cell phone number to call. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. I'm going to cleanse your space hourly, so please be mindful there's going to be 3 loud sounds. Let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Scorpio, this is a little bonus reading all about you. I'm going to check in with how you're feeling and how you're navigating things at this time. Of course, if things like love or career or money pop up, then I will mention it. But this is more about you, my beautiful Scorpio. This is about your secret feelings, your private energy, and how you are using extra resources to help you during a highly pressurized time. Thanks so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Scorpio? What do they need to know? Can you please guide them for their highest good? What are they meant to see? Well, I can definitely see that you are fire and ice at the moment. Some of you may feel that your emotions are fluctuating. Maybe you've had extreme moments of anxiety or sadness or anger, and then laughter and electricity and fun and spontaneity. I definitely get a sense that you've been going through a bit of a roller coaster when it comes to your emotions. I can see that some of you have almost lain dormant for a while. Maybe even the last couple of years, you may have felt that you're on autopilot. You've had a lot of things on your plate. You've been pushed and pulled in many different directions. You've been tested in many areas of your life. And it's almost like you become numb in order to deal with these experiences, because you are someone who is acutely feeling. You know, you have a lot of intuition. You also are an empath, so you don't only just deal with your own feelings, you pick up on other people's feelings as well. And because things have been so overwhelming, it's almost like you've gone into a protective state in order to get over these obstacles or these challenges that you've been experiencing. And it's like your feelings to some degree have been hibernating, like you've just been doing, okay? And I feel some of you may experience like pockets, moments of intense emotions coming towards you, because it's almost like you're reestablishing a relationship with yourself, or that part of yourself that you feel like you've lost recently, or even in the last couple of years, because I feel this wave of emotion coming back, like you're starting to really care deeply about everything again, which is wonderful, but at the same time, it can catch you a little bit off guard, okay? So suddenly, you know, I feel like you're really maintaining high boundaries or reestablishing higher boundaries than ever before, because I feel anyone who's taken you for granted, or anyone who has taken your kindness and mistaken it as weakness, I feel like you are forced to be reckoned with, and you're showing them that they cannot overstep a mark. I also see that some of you, especially with the Two of Pentacles, is this like duality about you. 1 minute you're like cold or very stoic, and you're very strong, and you have a lot of endurance, but also there's this sudden moment of electricity, of wildness about you, of embracing that wonderful spirit that you are. So some of you, especially if you're creative, for example, some of you may have felt that you've had a bit of a creative block for a while, or that things haven't flowed as easily as they used to, but it's all going to come back. 2024 is a highly electric year for you, and I feel things are, you know, going to go from strength to strength. But I will tap into all the energy that is available to you. We've got the Six of Swords. Yeah, you're being guided out of difficult times. You're protected and redirected. And we do have the Five of Wands here. So it's almost like you expect challenge. Some of you may have had a very difficult experience when you were younger or even in the last couple of years. So you're conditioned to kind of expect the worst. And some of you are looking at the world at large and the chess moves that are being made in the world. And you are someone who, you look at life in general like a chessboard. You always see the motive or the outcome before everybody else. You see the undercurrent, and I feel like you're keeping an eye on the world at large and how things are going so that you can be prepared for any changes that are yet to come. And whilst that is very important, of course, I really want to give you the message that's coming out here, which is be aware of all the changes that are going on. Also, be acutely aware that it must not destroy your happiness or your freedom, your energy, and your fun, okay? Embrace more open-heartedness, because I feel this heaviness in your reading, and you need a little bit more spontaneity, a little bit more fun, and I feel you will navigate the time period that we're living in a very strong way. You're putting yourself in a really good position to weather any storm, but I feel like you are preparing for it, you're expecting it, and, you know, some people are not expecting these things, but that puts you ahead of everybody else. But also remember, life is for living, okay? Don't allow it to keep you dormant or stuck or frozen in, you know, a stationary position in your life. I hope that makes sense in some way. I'm not really sure how else to give it, because Spirit are giving me this very intense, deep feeling that almost has no words to describe it. It feels very much like things are frozen. Okay, but you're thawing out, and those passions, that feeling, that emotion, it's all going to come flowing right back. And for some of you, you know, I mean, there is love here. If some of you have been in a single state for a while, and you feel that there's been a bit of a drought when it comes to your love life, I definitely see a passionate encounter coming in. You're being guided towards someone who is very thoughtful, very loving, and someone who gives in a relationship as much as you do. And as I said, this reading is not really about love per se, but it's about finding the balance in life in all things, even in money. Financial arenas. I definitely get a sense that you're finding that level of stability and a little bit more balance in your life, because I feel things have been a little bit up and down, okay? Now we do have snow and silence. There's someone here that, okay, let me put it this way. Scorpios, you, and I'm a Scorpio too, we're known for our silence. You know, when something isn't vibing with us, we'd rather like just stay super silent on something. We'll be blunt, we'll be honest, but if something doesn't change that we're not happy about, we'll phase that situation out. Okay, but there's lots of like warnings beforehand. Scorpios tend to give a little bit of a warning beforehand, like you're overstepping a mark. If a person is overstepping a mark in your world, you may verbally let them know that enough is enough. You're drawing a line in the sand. But if that person continues to overstep that mark, you're silencing or phasing something or somebody out. And I feel some of you, especially since you've got two cards that are like snow, is like, if you think about snow, it's kind of like, it's the softer like freezing out. You know, snow is transient. It can come, it can settle, and it can dissipate. It can move away. But ice is very much a bit more of a permanent feature. So there may be someone in your world that you've thought about freezing out. Okay, this person, they may play mind games with you. We got the Page of Swords in the resistance position. So there may be someone who's tried to push your buttons, and I feel like enough is enough. You're like cutting this situation completely out, okay? And it may weigh heavy on your mind. It may affect you in a lot of ways. I feel it's almost like a protective measure. The freezing out stage of something or somebody is to prevent the anger, okay? It's almost like, because you've got this like fire energy, so that indicates, you know, building things up to the point where they become very critical. You'd rather not have that confrontation. You'd rather just go, you know what, enough is enough, and just cut it out, okay? So there's something or somebody that has come to a climax in your life in some way, and you're cutting it out or freezing it out, and you're not going to return to it, whatever it is, okay? And it's okay. I want you to be aware it's okay. Sometimes we evolve and we outgrow situations and people, and they're not capable of going to the distances that we're going to. So I definitely get a sense here that some of you are cutting something out, okay? It could be a food substance, doesn't have to be a person, it could be a situation, or it could be an environment that you're like, you know what, it's bugging you, and you could be moving on from it over the next coming weeks and months, okay? But it says here silence and snow. Okay, so I feel some of you are letting things settle for you right now in some area. You may have even felt that life is pretty still right now. In stillness comes wisdom, and I feel like you're being asked to take stock of your immediate circumstances, but also go inwards and see how you're really feeling, okay? Now, this card is really interesting because this card is like, allow yourself to soften. Okay, you're not the sort of person who speaks just for the sake of speaking. Okay, you're a very deep person and you choose your words very carefully. And this is your protagonist energy. So if you've got something to say to somebody, I feel like you are diplomatically finding a way to let them know you're unhappy about something. However, if they don't get it and they continue in their behavior, I feel like that snow is turning to ice. And we've already talked about that. Okay, but also, this card is, it just feels like some of you have been a little bit in limbo recently or in the last couple of years, like you felt really numb about situations. I mean, it could be that like collectively, we all went through a traumatic experience in 2020, for example. And whilst a lot of people, most people are like back to usual doing their thing, it has affected the way that we operate to some degree. And it may feel like everything has changed and yet everything is still the same. So it's this weird dynamic where you feel a little bit in between worlds, where you feel that like life seems to be the same. However, something inside of you is different. Very much so. It has changed. And some of you may feel like a part of you is on hold in some way. And I feel as you move into 2024, you are unleashing that, whatever that is. So if you felt a little bit numb recently or a little bit in limbo, or there's a stillness about you, I feel, you know, that powerful energy, that excitement, that electricity, and that fire, you know, is returning. I mean, the Volcanoes card tells me that you are navigating new lands. You're cultivating your landscape. You're changing it in some way. Everything is shifting and it's coming from within. So I definitely see that some of you may be thinking about moving or relocating, but something inside you has changed. And I feel like you're trying to manage stress levels, you're trying to deal with pressures, because I feel there's been a lot of struggle and hardship for some of you. And I get a sense here that you are navigating the way perfectly. Also, I mean, this is a little bit of an aside energy that's coming through. Some of you, you may have some delays when it comes to travel, and it may be weather related. I mean, it is the season, so it depends on where you are in the world, of course. But if you're traveling, there may be some delays there. And I feel, especially with the energy in the resistance position, I feel like, you know, you'll be told about these delays in advance, but I feel like they're out of your control. Okay, so even if you left a little bit earlier, I feel like you'd still be delayed. So there may be a little bit of frustration there, but I'm going to move on from that energy because that's not really about you. That's what's going to happen to you in the next coming weeks there. Now we've got the Two of Pentacles here. So not only is this an energy of being flexible, okay, it's almost like embracing the dance of life or trying to get into some sort of rhythm that you feel has not been present in your world. You know, you may have had some sort of like rhythm in the past where everything was just slotting into place, and it now just feels like you're spinning lots of plates. You're trying to catch up with yourself or catch up with the time in some way. Some of you may feel that you haven't got enough time to do everything, and you're trying to make it work. You're doing a lot of multitasking. I definitely see that you're going to be very busy and very productive, but also the Two of Pentacles can indicate that sometimes, especially since you've got a lot on your plate, you may feel that you spread yourself thin. Okay, and that can be that you're trying to be really generous with your time, care, and love to other people, but at the same time, you neglect your own needs. So it's almost like you're trying to catch up with yourself when it comes to like, tidying the house or creating your house as your sanctuary, or, doing things for you that matter, taking, yourself to a coffee store, reading a book, whatever it is. Sometimes you may feel that you've left yourself little time to do things for you, and there may be just pockets of frustration there. So I feel like you're trying to find a little bit more balance so that you have equal time for yourself, and it brings a little bit more peace into your world as well there. Now, the Two of Pentacles, it can also indicate, doing a lot of juggling in life. The Two of Swords can also indicate like it's interesting. It's almost like you're juggling a lot of things, but at the same time, it feels very much like you're on hold or stagnant in some way. So it just feels like you're working towards something, but it's not showing up, or it just feels like it's endless, monotonous. And I feel like you've had to have a lot of endurance over the last couple of years, and I see things getting infinitely better for you. And with the Two of Pentacles there's also an energy of you consistently moving around, juggling. This could also be to do with bills or to do with like plans changing. I mean, I feel some of you, it's a bit annoying and frustrating when plans change, or if you feel someone is messing you about in some way. I feel like you are drawing that line in the sand and saying enough is enough. I feel you want a little bit more consistency in your world. And I don't mean you want more routine or repetitive cycles. I just feel like you want to find, that level of balance in your world where you're having a lot of pleasure, a lot of fun. And, I feel also that you're working really hard towards something. And I feel things are going to develop in a very unexpected way. And it's almost like you're looking at the world at large and seeing that there are some major changes coming your way. And you're expecting to have to be flexible in some way. So I definitely see that you are trying to get into the flow of things. And I'm also getting this energy of being eager to experience new things. So some of you are looking far into the future to try and, manifest dreams, of course, but also to experience a bit of everything in the world, being open to the variety of life, because it is the spice of life, of course. We have the Two of Swords there. So with 2 twos as your starting position, it can indicate some of you have some major decisions to make in the next coming weeks and months, and you're trying to find wisdom in stillness. Okay, so some of you are deep in thought about something that you want to change, and you may feel like going off grid, or you have been off grid for a while. I definitely see you being a little bit more sociable than usual at the end of the month, or as you move into 2024. I definitely see a shift and a change there. But right now, I feel like some of you are just feeling like a little bit of a homebody, or, the Two of Swords is a card of uncertainty. Okay, trying to remain flexible during uncertain times. This is a card that prepares you for hardship, the snow and ice. So you may see that there are some things that are going to shift, or, almost like freeze, for example. Winter is a month that humans naturally prepare for, where there are shortages of things, okay? Shortages of growth or products that grow, food substances, things like that. That's a natural cycle of humanity in terms of our evolution. And it looks like you are prepared for those things for 2024. And I definitely see that you're in a really good position to weather any changes there as well. But I get a sense here that some of you are seeking answers. You're doing a lot of soul searching, and you're trying to find peace of mind. You're trying to eradicate any drama from your life. But I feel for some of you, you've I've eradicated a lot of drama, but at the same time, it's feeling a little bit boring. It's feeling like, nothing's happening. Whilst you're on a spiritual quest and a journey of personal discovery, some of you are recognizing that also you need to bring in some extra things that you're interested in just to keep, life really interesting, because there's this energy here of you feeling a little bit left out in the cold, or feeling just things are really dormant right now, and you want to rediscover that passion, that relationship with yourself, where you release that passion through creativity or fun, or I just feel like you're getting out there and enjoying yourself a little bit more. You do have the Ice card. It's in the resistance position, so it's kind of like you are thawing out a little bit, that you're rediscovering part of yourself that you've lost touch with. And I definitely get a sense here that you are, how can I put that? It's like you're highly acutely aware of the undercurrent of life. You're very open. It's like you see everything. Nothing gets past you. And I feel some of you, because I'm getting strong Knight of Swords energy from this card, even though the Knight of Swords is not on your reading. We've got the Page of Swords there. I feel like you want to change your landscape in some way. And I feel you're changing your responses as well to situations. This is a card of purity. So I feel like you are cutting things out that, you know, are not nourishing for you, whether that's people, whether that's places, whether that's food substances, or, you know, an environment. Because they're showing me the ears right now, maybe something to do with the environment. Perhaps there's, you know, an annoying sound, or, you know, perhaps things are getting a little bit loud and you're wanting to go to more peaceful surroundings at this time. I feel like there's a desire to go inwards as well. Now, of course, this card is like the way forward is clear. Okay, so anything you're trying to decide or find a solution for, the way forward is made clear for you. Okay, I also get a sense here that you're going to find comfort. You're stripping away the unnecessary in your world, and this is actually of benefit for you during this time. You're looking at things clearly, and your priority is to find a solution to whatever changes are going on around you. And this is a card of being curious. The Page of Swords is investigation. So I feel some of you are looking at the inner narrative. You're looking at the undercurrent of situations or people. You're like, it's like you're seeing below the surface. All is not what it seems. And I feel like you're keeping an eye on things. Also, you have an incredible mind. And some of you, you know, I feel that you are embracing new ideas, but also I feel like you're investigating things that perhaps you don't know about or you haven't experienced before. I get this longing or this yearning for adventure or new experiences, new people. And this card literally means to pay attention. So I feel like you are paying attention to the undercurrent. Some of you are eager to learn new things as well. So you may even be thinking about new courses or classes to learn, or even new hobbies, or you know, traveling somewhere where you can soak up new cultures to learn. I feel like you're like a sponge at the moment, wanting to absorb things. And also the Page of Swords energy, I'm getting a strong energy here that you're getting a new perspective on people in your life or situations in your life. It's like you're coming up for air. It's like a breath of fresh air. You're freeing yourself up from people's expectations. You're not conforming. You're erecting really healthy boundaries. And I feel a lot of that love, care, and devotion that you have been generously giving to people, I feel like you're looking at their investment in your life as well and seeing if it's not reciprocal. There's no balance there. I feel like you're ending it. You're freezing it out. Okay. Now we also have the Seven of Cups. Some of you have been so busy. You've been pushed and pulled in many different directions. There's a lot of pressure on your shoulders, and you may feel that you're always trying to catch up with yourself, or you feel you never have enough time. You may have felt very scattered, especially in your mind. You may have like found yourself stuttering or trying to find the right word, or you've been a little bit forgetful recently. As you move into 2024, your mind is like a supercomputer. You're going to be so on it, okay? And some of you may actually find that it's a food substance that has been reacting with you. It's interesting. Thanks so much. I'm truly grateful. Now, they are showing me something. And, you know, this may not resonate with everyone, but I'm giving you what they can, what I can see right now, which is they're showing me like a cube of sugar. Okay. So that's all I'm being seen. I mean, yeah, it's just a little white cube. So it looks like sugar to me. That's what I'm guessing it is. I'm getting a very sweet taste in my mouth as well. So perhaps it's like over sugary things. I'm not saying give up sugar. Okay. You do your thing. You know your own body yourself. I'm not here to tell you how to run your life. But I'm seeing that some of you may notice that sometimes your mindset may be acutely affected by overstimulation, and especially if you're not getting the right amount of sleep, if you are needing a little bit more rest and recharging your batteries, it's almost like your brain synapses are running a lot faster, okay, than your like communication skills can catch up with. You know, when you have those really fast thoughts and you want to say what's on your mind, and then it comes out, but you stutter or you stumble over a word or you use the wrong word. You're like, it just feels like that is coming through. So some of you, I mean, maybe that you're going through a hormonal imbalance right now, or perhaps some of you, not all of you, of course, male or female, it's not a gender specific reading, but this is gender specific that's coming through. Some of you may be going through the menopause, for example, and it just feels like some hormones may be misfiring at this time, and you may have felt really scattered. But as you move into 2024, it's like a change within you. things just get easier, get better, more manageable. And I definitely see that that's going to help you long term as well. Now, the Seven of Cups in this position can also indicate that you do have a very powerful mind. Use that power of your mind, because thoughts become things. So this is about unleashing your abilities, your co-creative abilities with spirit. So as I said, if you can see it in your mind, you can have it in your hand. So a lot of you maybe creating new projects, or writing things down, writing a list of things that you want to accomplish. Remember, words, they're spellings, they're cast out to the universe, and they're connecting to energy that will be drawn towards you. So I definitely see that this is a perfect time to get focused on that project and make something that perhaps you've been sitting on. Maybe you've been thinking about an idea, or you've been slowly creating an idea. Suddenly it will come to the forefront and you'll launch it as you move into 2024. Okay, I definitely see like you springing to life in 2024, and it's very, very exciting there too. The Seven of Cups is really about imagination. It's about your desires blending in a very sort of magical way to make something new become a reality in your life, okay? So I feel like, you're giving way to manifestation, and you're really getting focused on what it is that you want, because some of you, your energy may have been very scattered in that you've had lots of things that you want to do, lots of things that you have to do, and you're just trying to catch up with yourself. Like, I've got to do that thing. Oh yeah, and I've got to do that thing. Let me do this thing now. And then you get distracted, and then you turn to this other thing, and then you come back to the thing that you got distracted from. I feel like you're going to have a lot more focus as you move into 2024, and you're going to be very not strict with yourself, but I feel like you're going to be really organized and say, okay, this is the most pressing thing that I need to focus on, and then I'm going to move on to this. So it just feels like you're in a better flow. And then you won't feel frustrated that you're always having to catch up with yourself there as well, okay? Now, your outcome energy, we've got the volcano. Now, we know, my beautiful Scorpio, that you are a very powerful energy, a real force to be reckoned with. And you do keep a lot of your feelings inside, and sometimes they can get bottled up. So it's really important that you manage to get a healthy outlet for the pressure. So whether that's through exercise, walking in nature, watching a good movie, or whether it's like just seeing friends, whatever it is, it's really important that you don't bottle things up. So I feel like you're really recognizing that as an act of self-care for yourself as well. But the Volcanoes card, it's number 9, okay? And number 9 is, it's Hermit energy, but it does mean that you're focusing on yourself at this time. Some of you may have noticed that anger is coming to the surface a lot more, or pockets of frustration is starting to come out. So if you've been in a state of limbo or feeling a bit dormant with your emotions, and you felt like you've been on autopilot, some of your emotions are just popping back in flashes, which let you know that that feeling, that part of yourself that you feel like you've disconnected from, is actually returning. You're reestablishing that relationship. So it can feel a little bit bumpy at first, but it's actually going to help you be a little bit more free-flowing there when it comes to your emotions. But this card, it's like letting go of old grudges, okay? Any heavy energy, you're leaving it in the past, and you're allowing your anger to move through you rather than bottle it up, so it doesn't become like this, climax of energy. Anger is not an emotion to fear. A lot of people, they're like, especially spiritual people, they're like, get rid of the anger and breathe and be really peaceful. Well, that's not human nature. We were given anger for a reason. It helps us recognize when people are overstepping a boundary. It helps us recognize when we're not happy about something. It's an important indicator in our body that something is not right or something is off. And anger can be channeled healthily into making a situation change. So anger is actually a very good energy to have. But I feel like you're noticing it when it affects you in a negative way, okay? Because we can hold on to grudges for a person or a situation for years. The only person that is hurting is yourself, okay? Because the other person probably isn't thinking about that time that they hurt you, or, they're just getting busy living their life. And if you're holding on to that grudge, it means it's actually hurting you more than the other person. So I feel like you're turning the situation around. Now, if you really think about, that word power, volcanoes, they change the landscape. And I definitely see that's something you're doing for 2024. You're changing the landscape of your life. And it feels very much like the run up to it. So some of you may have been very still for a while for different reasons. So, for example, if you're trying to buy a new property, for example, or you're trying to move, you may have not been going out so much. You may have been a bit more of a homebody, a hermit, in order to save money, in order to make this great change in your life. So it feels like a plan. It feels like it's an orchestrated plan that you've got. For some of you, it could be that you're not happy with your circumstances right now. So you're just staying very still in order to go through a period of personal development and growth. And when the moment is right, then you will sort of emerge this powerful person who is, changing that landscape for the better, reigniting your lust for life and embracing your passions once again. And I also get this energy that it's like some of you may have felt that you've had unpredictable energy recently, but I feel it's actually helping you purify your spirit so that you can, embrace 2024 in a more powerful way. And it's almost like you're going through a reformation. Okay, they're giving me that word reformation. And the energy that I'm getting here is that you have the power to create a situation or destroy a situation. And I feel like you are choosing which one you want to do in a healthy way for you. And this could be that you're changing your situation to embrace new people, new experiences, or you are destroying a connection with a person that you feel has outstayed their welcome in your world, or who has overstepped a mark so many times and you've given that person, the benefit of the doubt and they're not learning from the situation. So I feel like you're not teaching them a lesson. I feel like you're protecting your energy and saying enough is enough, okay? But I definitely see that new landscapes are forming for you. You're cultivating your landscape and you actually are a real force to be reckoned with. It's almost like this card, well, it's not a card, it's a deck there. It's like that phoenix rising from the ashes. You're rediscovering your power, your fire, and I definitely see that you're rising up. And I feel also some of you may uncover a secret or a motive from somebody, whether it's in your career, whether it's in a friendship, whether it's in a relationship. Some of you may discover like something hidden, and I feel it gives you a power because you now have the knowledge. However, I feel it's something that makes you want to freeze that person or that situation out, okay? Because you're erecting healthier boundaries. Now also, and these cards are not really related to the energy, I'm seeing a gift in the water. Something's got a bow on it. I see an unexpected gift being given to you over the next coming weeks and months. And I feel it could be a resource from the universe, but I feel you've been learning that you are a gift. You tend to be very generous and kind, but really honest and open as well. Okay, I feel like you're not a saint, of course, but I feel that you try to judge situations fairly, even when you're in the wrong of a situation. And I feel like there's some good karma coming back your way because I feel like you've been giving a lot of yourself to help other people. And I just get this sense that you're getting a gift that is out of the blue, and it just makes you feel that when you're given this gift, it just feels like there is a change within you that lets you know that the universe has your back and that everything's going to be okay. Okay, I know it sounds really odd and it doesn't really match that energy, but that's what's coming through, so I have to give you that, okay? Now we do have the Lover's card here. And the Lover's card at Grassroots, it's really about what your heart is vibing at, the frequency, and the law of attraction, attracting what your heart really desires, okay? The Lover's card is also a choice card. So I see that you are making some major changes and you have a lot of options and choices to choose from over the next coming weeks and months. But I feel like you're only choosing to go where your heart belongs, okay? I definitely see you gravitating towards your soul tribe. And if some of you haven't really found your place in a group or an environment or an area, I definitely see that you're going to find soul tribe members. This is about you discovering your passions, connecting to exciting things. It's the beginning of a new era for you where you're going to get closer to people than ever before. You're going to be a little bit more sociable than usual as well. It's almost like you're building your community from scratch, some of you. Not all of you, but I definitely get a sense of nearest and dearest people coming together. sharing resources and being together long term. Also, of course, I can't ignore the fact that this is a lover's card. So some of you, if you're not in a high level commitment and you feel like your relationship status has been single for quite some time, there is a high potential of you meeting a very passionate, thoughtful human being who's coming in, and someone who they respect love because they've been hurt in the past before. I want you to be aware of that. But if you're in a high level commitment already, I feel like you and this person, I feel like you're almost like establishing your independence within a relationship where you both love each other very dearly, but you don't want to lose that part of yourself in the other person. So, you want to maintain doing the things that you love, like your hobbies, seeing your friends, all of those things, whilst at the same time having balance to be together as a unit, to be merging together, and, understanding each other on a different level. I definitely get a sense here that you are rediscovering what you fell in love with this person for in the first place. And although that sometimes they may push your buttons, because life's all about ups and downs and compromises, and a long-term relationship, it takes work. So I feel you and this person, it's like you honor each other's differences and you recognize that actually you are a very strong unit and that nothing can ever get in the way of your relationship. But it has been a testing time, but you're being moved out of any testing times, okay? Now, in terms of your energy, my beautiful Scorpio, we have the 5 of Wands there. And we also have the 6 of Swords. So this is really about managing stress levels, because I feel pressure has been on you a lot recently. 5 of Wands is to be under pressure. It's to have challenges, obstacles, but it's also to channel your energy in a healthy way to win something or to fight for something. This is a card that indicates you've been in training, for something. So some of you, it's like this dormant phase where you feel nothing's been happening. However, you feel that you've been training for something bigger or something that's going to shift in your world. And you've got this. 6 of Swords tells me that you are moving through difficulty and you're protected and redirected. If you've had any disappointments recently, I definitely see things have been challenging, but you're being guided towards something better, something more rewarding. And I feel that the sweet reward will come in and it will put you in a very powerful position. But I feel they're giving me this sentence, know thyself. It's almost like you've been put on a bit of a pause in life in some way in order to reestablish a healthy relationship with yourself, and also to erect healthier boundaries and know your worth. Know that you are a gift. And I feel it's been a lesson that perhaps has taken you a long time to recognize. However, I feel now it's like you can see clearly. 6 of Swords, this is a rite of passage card. It really means you're finding that calmness within you, okay? That you can use that healthy, passionate energy and in a very healthy way. And I definitely get a sense here that you're being guided to embrace the unknown. Because Scorpio, as I said, I'm a Scorpio too. Sometimes we have a level of control where we like to know where we're at. Okay. And that's human nature in general. It's not just a Scorpio trait. Humans, they kind of like to know where they stand. Okay. But I feel like you've been learning about uncertainty for quite some time. So I feel that you are in a really good position, especially if you are, they're giving me very heavy dragon energy with this card, probably because it's supposed to be a snake there, but they do kind of look a little bit like dragons. But I'm being given this power of the dragon for next year, okay? And so if you were born in the year of the dragon, it's definitely a very strong, successful year for you. But also, I feel there's going to be a lot of changes, but you're making the changes, okay? I definitely get a sense here. Also, something that was, it's almost like something that you knew to be true, that hadn't been proven yet. So whether it's you thought something was going on with a friend, or you thought someone was hiding something from you, or you feel there's some sort of shift on a global scale that was going to happen, you're going to be proven right. I feel like you're validated in some way over something. And for some of you, you wish that you weren't validated on it, because I feel it's the energy I'm getting, I'll pull a card on it. I feel like it's not a negative validation. I hate giving that message. I don't want you to be paranoid. I feel intuitively you knew, okay? Whatever this is. It's going to be different for everybody. Knight of Pentacles. 6 of Pentacles. So it could be that you're giving to a situation and you feel, okay, for example, and this is just a very odd example that's coming through, but I'll give it to you anyway. So it could be that, for example, you are part of a group chat on a social media platform, right? You and your friends are all part of the group chat. However, it feels like either you've been left out of another group chat, and people in the group chat that you're on start talking about something that it seems like they've already discussed, and you're like, I didn't know anything about this. I feel like intuitively you knew that something was going on behind the scenes, that you've been left out of something, or that something you've been giving to has not been reciprocal. You've been over-giving to a situation, and we've got the Justice card there. It's like the truth will out. Okay, and you will find your balance in that, whatever it is. And you will judge this situation in the way that you feel you should judge it, okay? But I definitely get a sense also that there's some really great karma coming your way. There is an unexpected resource being gifted to you by the universe. I feel like you've actually been given the gift of insight, which is a blessing and a curse sometimes, because you can see people's motives. And while they're like telling you something to your face and you're like, well, I know that's not true though. You know, sometimes that's a little bit annoying and upsetting because you wish that people would just be honest and open with you. So I feel some of you are developing your skill in that area, developing your intuition. Now we do have the King of Swords. And why this is really relevant to you is if you have a look at this figure, those roses are there, okay? Now the roses represent sweet reward, but they've got a lot of thorns on them, right? So thorns represent the hardships or difficulty. And as you can see, this figure has got gloves on. Well, actually, this figure has got a glove on one hand and is holding a glove on the other, but is contemplating whether this thing that has the potential to hurt them or the potential to be difficult, whether it's worth it. Okay, and then I want you to see this figure. This is your last card. This figure has grasped and picked those roses and is holding the thorns. So there's this energy coming through that, yes, it may be difficult, but you will conquer it. You will accomplish it, and you will get the rewards. So whatever that is for you in your life, if it's something difficult that you've been working towards, whether it's a change or a shift, you are dominating your landscape and you're making it happen, okay? King of Swords is someone who's super organized as well. So I definitely get a sense here. If you're looking for love, I feel like you're meeting someone who is really thoughtful, someone who has been hurt in love before, but is open and available emotionally for love. But also, if there's something that you want to create or make a reality in your world, I definitely see that, yes, it's difficult, but I feel like you are ready to accomplish it, and you will. You'll be very successful. Some of you are also thinking about other landscapes, as in you are thinking about emigrating or even thinking about living in different parts of the world. And some of you may actually, speak to somebody who lives in a part of the world that you're interested in relocating to, or you may even get some really good advice on that as well. Okay, words, they are very powerful. And I feel a lot of you are either deciding to do some extra journaling, or you may even use your words to change your world in some way. So some of you may be writing a book, or you may be taking the lead on like a chat forum, or you may be taking presentations. I feel words are going to be very powerful for you as you move through 2024, okay? Now, isn't it interesting? They gave me the word reformation, but you've also got the word revolution. Okay, so I feel, you're going through a new dawn. You're taking back the power. Your first card there is stone people. People who have, unreachable energy. And it's like here, everything can change. Even someone with a heart of stone. No feelings, numb, disinterested, distant. So look, that's the energy that I was getting from your reading. Some of you have been feeling a little bit numb, a little bit like you've lost your feeling for things that you used to be really interested in. I mean, even in a different deck, you're getting the same message. So it kind of validates the energy that I've got coming through. And it may not resonate with everyone because there's so much energy as a hotbed coming through, but I read the majority energy that comes through. So that's very important. But as you can see, you're like springing back to life. You're finding that lust for life again. And I feel like you are in a very strong, powerful position as you move through 2024. We've also got shamanic drumming. So you're definitely going to benefit from music. Okay, this will help soothe your soul, change your vibration. It says here, allow music to heal your soul and connect you to spirit, expression, musical science, sound healing. So something did come out there briefly about sound, okay, but I feel like you are very sensitive to sound at this time, and I feel it's important, the things that you're absorbing, they change and shift the way that you operate. So really important when you're going to bed, for example, and if you're someone like me, sometimes I put my headphones in order to be able to sort of drift off to sleep. It's really important to make sure that whatever it is you're listening to doesn't like trip over to something else that you didn't choose. So for example, if you're on YouTube, listen to a video and you fall asleep, you know, you've chosen something you want to listen to and absorb, and then if you fall asleep, it may trip over to someone else's like video of something that you didn't choose, and you're also absorbing that as you're sleeping. So just be a little bit mindful of that. And of course, we've got revolution there as well. And it says here, the upper world is helping you transform and to get rid of your worries. So there's nothing to worry about. Dramatic change, evolving and reshaping. I mean, all of the cards, you could have got any card here. It really feels like you're reshaping your landscape. It says here, those that lie down with dogs get up with fleas. You could have got that one. You could have got primal energy. You could have got becoming. You could have got any of those cards. But each of these cards tell the energy of what you got in this reading. So you're reshaping your landscape. And when you do that, it is a wonderful new dawn for you. You're on the right path. And they want me to like make you aware that 47, when you reduce it, of course, is 11. 7 plus 4 is 11. So I feel like you're on your soul path. You're connecting to your true life's mission and purpose. And I feel that it's almost like you're coming to life again. And I feel you're going to be building new memories and having a much more enjoyable time. And those tests, you're being moved away from them, okay? Okay, I'm just going to get a drink in a room before we close. Wow. So we got the turtle, which is slow and steady wins the race. Also, you know, turtles are about security. They've got their little shell on their back. So whenever there are moments to be cautious about, they go into their shell. And I feel some of you have been in your shell for a while, because I feel that, you know, you've been knuckling down and protecting yourself, protecting you and your family, and waiting for trouble to pass. But now you're sort of spreading your wings and embracing a new dawn. We got 2 butterflies here. So this is really about people coming together, transforming. Okay, you know, you got the Lovers card there. So if you're looking for love, there's a high potential you're going to meet someone who has gone through a very similar process as you. When you think about the butterfly, you know, the caterpillar goes in the chrysalis. There is a period of being dormant. Okay, and that's a very difficult period. You know, that caterpillar doesn't just go into that chrysalis and goes, okay, now I'm going to like fall asleep and grow some wings and then I'm going to fly. It's actually a very painful process where the caterpillar dissolves its complete sense of self. The whole shape of the caterpillar becomes like a jelly and then gets reformed. And that's how you've been feeling, or the energy that I'm picking up on some beautiful Scorpios out there. How you've been feeling. It's like everything about you is changing. Maybe your body, your mindset, your soul, and also the landscape. And now you're rebuilding and you're shaping things the way you want to be so that you can fly, so you can get the best out of life and that you don't remain dormant or stuck. Okay. So very positive time ahead for you, but I see that you've been going through some challenges. 2024 is a lot easier for you. I mean, for the collective in general, there is going to be a bumpy energy, but I feel like you are really establishing a power during these difficult times that puts you in a really great position. Okay, so we'll leave it there. I hope something resonates in that reading for you. It was quite deep. Wasn't meant to go like that, but you know, you are a deep sign, so I'm not surprised it came out that way. If something does resonate, please like or subscribe to my channel. Completely free for you. All you have to do is press a little bell that lets you know when I update my next message, and it lets me know that you resonate with reading, which is so important for me too. Sorry, they just showed me an image in the water that distracted me briefly there. Now, this is a little bit of a correlation with the Leo reading. Of course, it wouldn't be a Scorpio reading without a little bit of a connection to the Leo reading, probably because of my Leo moon. They're showing me loads of polka dots. And they're actually showing me the game of Twister, which they did exactly the same in Leo. It's so unusual to get the exact images. So there's obviously a message here. Polka dots in spirituality mean to have more fun, embrace the moment. But that game of Twister, it's like bending over backwards and putting your hands and feet everywhere to make everything fit. So some of you may have felt like you're bending over backwards to make everything work in your world. And again, it's an energy of being flexible. So I feel that, yes, you're being open to being flexible and being in the rhythm of life. However, don't allow anyone to try and overstep a mark or to try and force you to do something that you don't feel comfortable with. Okay, so perhaps it's also a message about not overstretching yourself. Okay, so I'll leave it there. There's obviously a correlation there for some reason, but embracing the moment is really important. So I'll leave it there. Thank you so much, my beautiful Scorpio, and love and light.